319. I haven't driven this one in quite some time, so I'm looking forward to it. It's actually built by the same team that did the 143. So this is a First Capital Connect service, and we're running from Brighton by the looks of it, and we're heading into the city. Morning driver, it doesn't look as though you're going to have an easy shift today. Let the passengers board here at Brighton. Keep an eye on your signals and have a good day. I'm pressing the T key works so much better when I'm actually in the right window. Yay, it worked. Hey, welcome back, Jim. Good to see you on the channel again tonight. For any of you that have just joined us, we're just getting started on a scenario from Brighton back into the city in London. We're driving a Class 319 and we should be departing very shortly. Next stop, Preston Park. Trains go so much better when the gear is in forwards. So the line that we just passed to the right there that went off is the one that heads over to Eastbourne, Hastings and finally Ashford. It's the East Coastway. We're heading on the Brighton Main Line, which heads northbound. Lovers Lane Depot on the left, which is where the trains are generally serviced in this area. And we're getting our speed increased to 40 miles per hour, although we do have to stop in 3/4 of a mile. Hey Martin Gaming 10101, good to see you on the channel, thanks for joining us. Just realised, no headlights, and in this weather that's even more of a crime. Just coming into Preston Park now. There's quite a few different railway companies, and there's some sort of still trying to get started. Like the new ones based on GNER and GNWR that should be starting up hopefully at some point. Plus things keep changing around, and sometimes several companies are actually the same company if you look one or two steps up the chain. It's very confusing. Right, so we've just gone sailing past the 8-car stop. Never mind. Let the doors open at Preston Park, and we can get ready for our next stop. course, what's really cool is that my backdrop is actually a 319. How cool is that? Doors are closed, time to go. .75 miles per hour now. Hassocks platform 1 in a bit under 6 miles, so let's get moving and keep an eye on signals, make sure we don't get caught out. So one trick I like to do when I'm riding the signals aren't perfect visibility, I'll zoom in like this. Now I can quite clearly see the signal up ahead, which is very useful. It's also very useful in the dark, or anywhere you've got limited visibility really. Hey Richard and X Unique, good to have you on the channel. Thanks for joining us tonight. It's the driver safety device, which I've just reset. Don't forget, folks, to click the follow button if you want to be notified whenever we do future broadcasts. We're getting the 90 limit in a minute, and the signal's starting to get a bit more dense, so it looks like we've still got the green, so nothing to panic about just yet. Wow, Dricky, well done. I think you picked up quite a few of them there. Although you have named some that don't really exist anymore. I don't think National Express really runs their directly their own. Obviously they own C2C, but they don't have National Express East Coast. No, they have National Express East Anglia, don't they? Yes. You've got Underground, but don't forget Overground's actually technically a separate company. The Laurel. LOL. Next stop is Hassocks, coming up in 1.5 miles. Welcome back, Rockwell. I guess you're having network connectivity issues. Coming into Hassocks, we're running about 45 seconds early, so we've got a bit of extra time to kick around. the southern class 377 going in the other direction, heading back towards Brighton. So there's our 8-car stop. I'm not pressing the button to say I'm talking, so all you're seeing is my jaw flapping around, which is no use for anyone. 8-car stop coming right up, and here we go. Plenty of time to get the stop just right, because we're actually running slightly ahead of schedule. And here we go. Well, that's not too bad. Hey Hunter, good to see you back again. Thanks for joining us. Pretty miserable out there weather-wise, isn't it? Okay, we're getting ready to go here in just a second. Next stop, Burgess Hill, in a couple of miles. So, Hunter, what's the route name? London to Brighton. We are at Hassocks. We're heading for Burgess Hill, so we're heading northbound on the route. We left Brighton probably about a quarter of an hour ago. And the class of train, this is a class 319 in First Capital Connect livery. It's an electric multiple unit. I'll just pop outside so you can have a look. Yeah, thanks very much, Simon. It is rather. I'm starting to think I should maybe wear a cap or something, but at least so far it doesn't seem to be turning it into a transparent head with the green screen stuff, so I'm going to call that a win. Put a reminder on that we're an 8-car train. I was supposed to be stopping here. Oh, well, never mind. Oops. Sorry, everybody. You'll just have to jump out really fast. Ouch. Bad boy. I'm not going to get a good score now. Hey Lunago, welcome to the channel. Good to see you this evening. You just missed me rather spectacularly failing to stop at the station. So there'll be a disciplinary in it for me at some point, I'm sure. Of course, failing to stop at a station means I'm now excessively early for the next one. So I think we'll just take our time and cruise in and try not to miss it. No, this is actually going the other way. We started at Brighton, we're heading north, and we're actually heading for London Victoria. don't think we're stopping at every station. We do seem to be stopping at quite a few of them. Hey Jamie, good to see you again this evening. Well, you know, Doc, if I want score, I probably need that. Never mind. I'm going to put it behind me. It's a lesson learned. Have a formal meeting about it later on. Decide how we can better prevent it from happening in the future. And yeah, lessons will be learned. Heads will roll. 9. Here we are. We've just stopped at Wibblesfield, platform 1. We are a couple of minutes early, so we may be here for a minute or two. Yes, I don't have any news for you, I'm afraid, but as soon as we do, you will be finding out on Facebook. Hey Hunter, yes, the 377 comes with it. It's a lovely loco to drive. I'm very pleased with that one. But I have to say, some of the other stock has been released for the route, such as we did First Capital Connect 377, the First Capital Connect 319, and some of the older slam door stock. Just cancel the DSD there. All of which serve to quite nicely brighten the route up with a bit of variety. Do tell Dark, what is the best Class 66 made ever? Hey McShorty, going from Brighton, I'm going north to London. Can't go south to London from Brighton. It gets very wet when you go south from Brighton. Hey Panzer, good to see you on the channel. You're most welcome. I shall have to look that one up, Darkness. So what's your favourite route then, Hunter? What sort of routes do you like to drive? Hey, we got some points back. Right, let's get moving. Hayward Heath in 2.9 miles, and given the way that the ETA is very different to the target time there, I'm going to suggest that we might be getting messed up in a minute. Messed up more so than when I normally drive. Anyway, let's put it that way. At least the horn on this one isn't quite so offensive to the ears. Yes, Hunter. Favourite routes? What are the ones that you like to play in the game? How many monitors am I using, Lunago? Well, I've got my laptop screen, and up there, cancel the DSD, up there I've got my second screen, which is actually a TV, and that's where I've got all of the chat. So when you see me looking up like that, that's me checking out what's being said on the chat stream. So we've still got a green light. Presumably it's when we start getting towards the city we're going to start getting bunged up. Maybe around Croydon, Clapham, that sort of area. That's usually where things get really busy. Still green. Excellent. This is what I like to see. Hayward's Heath. We probably should be stopping here. See you, Ricky. See you tomorrow. Well, with a bit of intensive braking, we do seem to be making it. Excellent. In fact, I can probably back the brakes off. In fact, we've stopped a bit early. But nothing really went wrong, and so the timings mean we're now going to be here. Probably not far off, actually. We're only about a minute early now. By the time I've walked to the end of the platform, it'll be about right time. Got really good selection of routes there. Civic Surfliner is certainly one of my favourite routes. I think my all-time favourite route is New York, New Haven, certainly from America. And I mean, I like a lot of the American freight routes, but they do get a bit samey after a while. So New York, New Haven for me represented a nice splash of a change. And I like driving the trains because the signalling system is unique and different. Hey Hunter, yes, this train does appear to have rather good brakes and acceleration. It's a commuter train, so generally those do have pretty good acceleration and brakes, rather like the Kawasaki M8 actually that runs on the New York New Haven line on Metro North. Which reminds me, we just put a patch out for the M8, so if you've got the M8, go and give it another go. You should find that the performance issues which it had before are now all gone, and it's a much smoother loco to drive. Train to drive. Hey Moose, sorry DSD. No, nothing at this particular moment, but lots of there's always discussions going on. If you've got suggestions, drop them over to our Facebook page, to the Dovetail Games Facebook page. Excellent. Let's get moving. We're always looking for grateful for the suggestions that that the community give us. So please do let us know what your thoughts are. So we're now going to be going via Balcombe. We're not going to be stopping there, and that's in nearly just under 4 miles. Hey Bunga, good to see you on the channel. Thanks for joining us. For those of you that haven't have just joined us in the last little while, we're running London on the London to Brighton line, heading from Brighton back into London, heading northbound. We're driving a Class 319 in First Capital Connect colours, and it's pretty much a stopping service into the city. So. Pretty much stop start stop start. There you go, max speed 100 miles per hour, but the line speed limit is 90 in this particular area. like we're still getting green signals, which is a good sign. It does concern me though that I don't seem to be getting AWS bells. I'll have to make a note of that and see why that is. So Balcombe is 1.4 miles away. Welcome back, Dark. Good to see you. I take it you're switched to laptop, no problems at all. So we're just coming through Balcombe Station. We are non-stop at this station. How can you stop TS15 lagging? It depends what the lagging is that you're experiencing, what might actually be causing it. Faster hard drives or switching to SSD can make a tremendous difference to the stutter that happens over while it's loading new data in off the disk. It's quite staggering how much of a difference getting a nice fast SSD, or at least a hybrid, I can't remember what they call them, SSHDD. So they're also worth a good look. Good graphics card, good CPU, but keep them balanced. Don't get a ridiculously fast graphics card if you don't have a ridiculously fast CPU. Balanced combinations are definitely much more appropriate and usable, and less of a waste of your money. Memory is less important as long as you've got enough. I would say you want to make sure you've got at least 8 gigabytes to get good performance. But no, I must admit, stuttering SSD is the way to vastly eliminate it. It doesn't get rid of it entirely, but it does make a big difference. Hey, drunk dude, good to see you on the channel. Not paying attention to the speed limits. Wow, we lost 130 points. Wow. Okay, so now our maximum score is about 750, so probably not even going to get a silver medal. Bad, Matt. Bad. I'm not sure I should get any medal for missing a station out completely. That just, I think if I was a passenger on this train, I'd probably be justifiably somewhat upset. So you're lagging when you're streaming. Have you set the bitrate too high for the kind of internet connection that you've got? Measure your upstream bandwidth, and also make sure that you're connecting to the nearest Twitch server when you stream. I did find a tool which suggested what the it pinged every single Twitch server, and then you could see easily which was your local. And in fact, strangely enough, I've switched to the Amsterdam in the Netherlands Twitch server because it was nearly half the ping time of the London server. So go figure. That's definitely worth looking at to see if you can reduce that. And otherwise than that, CPU is going to make a difference to your. If the problem is down to encoding the video to stream it while you're playing the game, then that probably suggests a bit more CPU might help. But I'd certainly measure your bandwidth, make sure that's okay, and then make sure you're connected to the most efficient server. Yes, Dark, Netherlands, hi. just coming into Three Bridges Station. I don't follow the question. Oh yeah, the bit rate. So I mean, I had mine set to 1,000, and that means you need to have a megabit upload. So find out what kind of an upload speed you've got, whether you've got half a megabit or a megabit or 4 megabits or 10 megabits, and then make sure that you set it appropriately. Don't go above 3,500. That's the absolute maximum that you're allowed to set it to by Twitch. But to be honest, much above about 2,000 there's no point. Bear in mind that whatever upload stream you set, everybody else has got to be able to download it. So I mean, I'm using 1,500. You may want to go a bit lower if you only have a half megabit upload, then you will certainly need to drop that down to below 500. Ho 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 ho, very good, Jamie. So I think what you could try doing there then, Jamie, is cut your bitrate down, cut the resolution down, scale it back to say 1280-800, which is what I stream at, or scale it back even lower. Find a resolution so that you can get good quality to match the bitrate, because obviously if you reduce the bitrate but try and stream a high res, that's going to cause you a problem with it looking very blocky. An insane PC certainly helps, but if you're trying to Twitch and you haven't got enough bandwidth to upload, then an insane PC won't help. I'm using the OBS broadcaster just out of interest. There are other options out there like XSplit and some other ones, but they generally cost a fair bit of money actually. Things like XSplit, which have got a monthly fee for them to get half decent features. So whereas OBS is completely free and comes kitted to the max as far as I can see. So I definitely recommend OBS if you're not already using it. I don't think, sorry Jamie, I don't think drivers are allowed anything in the cab that's not intended for the operation of the train. So they've got the little telephone in front of me here, which is how they communicate with the dispatcher and signalman. But otherwise than that, there is the NRN radio. I don't know if there's one modelled on this logo. That's the NRN radio there. So that'll be again signalling information. But no, Radio 1, if that's what you mean. Next up is Gatwick Airport in a couple of miles. Hey Dark, yeah, I think that I think your pricing summary there pretty much sums it up. It's OBS is definitely it's an excellent piece of software. Just forgetting the fact that it's free, it is actually an excellent piece of software. Yes, the radio for dispatches is very similar to what the NRN does in the UK. But no, I think even in America they wouldn't allow music radio. Just pulling into Gatwick Airport. And coming up to the 8-car stop. And missing the 8-car stop. Excellent. And no, stopping the train on full service brakes is probably not the most comfortable way we can stop a train for our passengers, but that was no part really, that was just silly. We'll still be here, Hunter. See you shortly. Well, we've at least got a bronze medal as long as we don't mess up any further, so we're doing alright. Given that we lost 100 points plus for missing a station, another 100 points for speeding, that would suggest we're about 3/4 of the way through the scenario. Okay, so we're actually terminating the service at East Croydon. We've got Purley and then East Croydon to do. And there's Purley, in fact, just under 13 miles away. So I need to watch the signals, watch the speed limits, and get there in good time and safely. So we've just about 40 minutes ago left Brighton down the south coast. We're on the London to Brighton route. We're heading northbound. This service will terminate at East Croydon, which is a little ways away yet. We've got Purley in 11 miles, and then the next stop after that will be East Croydon, where we'll terminate. We're driving a Class 319, First Capital Connect liveries. Problem with being outside the cab is you don't hear the DSD, so that's going to ruin my score even more. Get everything released and get back set up again, wait for the brakes to come off, and off we go. They've got to stay in the cab from now on, and that way we can hear the alarms when they're going off. Hey Red, good to see you on the channel, thanks for joining us. The good news is we're still above 500, so there's a fleeting chance we might at least get a bronze medal. We're not likely to get a gold now because I think we're only getting about 120 points per stop, so with 2 stops left to go, that doesn't leave much leeway for getting 250 points. So. But let's get our medal, get our XP, and think ourselves lucky after doing such a bad job. Aha, caught you that time. You probably want to go, Jamie, onto uksteam.info. That website generally has a lot of information about steam rail tours on the main line, and see whether anything there fits what you're looking for. Folks, if you haven't already, don't forget to press the follow button. You'll be notified by Twitch automatically the next time or every time that we do a broadcast, so that you don't miss anything. If you feel like you might have missed something, then look at our social media links above. You'll find us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. What I do is over on YouTube, I'll keep archives of various episodes so that you can go back to browse them and see anything that might be of interest. Gotcha. Hey Wicked Slayer, good to see you on the channel, thanks for joining us. I have no idea what that clicking sound is. We are about 5 miles away from Purley, so we've got a little way to go yet. The beeping thing is the Kimmy. The beeping thing is the driver safety device. So what happens is if I don't operate any controls like throttles or brakes or anything for a period of approximately 60 seconds, the train sets off an alarm basically to say, "Are you still there?" And if I don't react to that alarm, it assumes that I am not paying attention, perhaps unconscious or worse, and therefore slams all the brakes on the train in order to preserve safety for the passengers. And apparently that's a good thing if I'm speeding all the time. So yeah, that's called the driver safety device. Actually, I've just looked again and we are going via Purley, we're not stopping at Purley. So we're just going to go blatting through it at full speed, well, speed limit speed. I guess that's the thing, isn't it, Kimmy? The older trains, you'd always have the two in the cab, whereas these days they're looking for a single driver operation. So you need something else to keep you awake and make sure that you're paying attention. The way that the DSD actually works is down here. There's a foot pedal, which you can see, and what happens is the driver has to keep the foot on it. And then every now and again, when that alarm goes off, what they actually have to do is release their foot off it and put it back on again. And the reason for that is because the earlier ones worked the other way around, where you push the button on the floor. So what the drivers did was put the bags on it, so they never went off. So yeah, so they changed it so that they couldn't do that anymore. And I think so far it seems to be a pretty robust device. Coming into Purley, about 3/4 of a mile away. We won't be stopping here. We will be continuing on to our next destination at East Croydon. So we're only going to get one more load of points, in fact, not two, which hopefully will get us back over the time, since we've hooked under 500. I want my bronze medal. I want my bronze medal. I think it's because it's actually quite large, the foot peg. So you put both your feet on it. It's basically a footrest. You put both your feet on it, and you can take one of them off and shake it all around, and put the other one back down again and shake that one down. So it's not like it's a tiny little button that you can only put one foot on. You can put both feet on it. So I don't think they have any real problems with it. Okay, so that was an AWS alarm, fixed actually, because it's warning us about the speed restriction to 60. You'll notice it's fixed because it's got a green light coming up here, but that alarm just tells the driver, be aware, you've got a speed restriction coming up. We're now down. Pressed the wrong button. We're now down to the speed restriction now, so we are good to proceed. Coming into East Croydon, just over a mile away, and that will be our final stop for this particular scenario. So we're due into East Croydon, platform 2 at 8:53, and we're currently looking like we're going to arrive there at 8:52. I'm just dropping the speed down because we're coming into a 45 mph speed restriction. I also suspect that our next signal will probably be, I was going to say a double amber, but it's a green. So excellent. Hey Lunigo, welcome back to the channel. Looks like the dispatch has cleared us into platform 2, which is good news. Hey, thanks for the follow there, Lunigo. Appreciate that. final stop at East Croydon. Let's get our points, get our medal, and run away before the inspectors come chasing after us for all the things we did wrong on this journey. I think for our next trip we might take a journey over to the US, just one last journey for this evening. So I'm going to go and have a look at the. Oh, thanks Ray Red for the follow. I'm going to take a look at the list. I've got something in mind. I just want to make sure it's all going to work okay. Hey Kimmy, the steam physics are excellent in Train Sim. Some of the locos do come with the firebox loaded a bit too close to the ideal fire mass, which means they can be quite unwieldy until you've until you've burned off some of the coal. But some of them also start with fire mass significantly lower, and therefore are a nice challenge to get going. So yeah, there's some really good ones. A really good one to look at is the Western Lines of Scotland, which is Carlisle to Stranraer, sort of set 1960s. Comes with Black 5 locos that have actually had quite a lot of work done on them with steam physics and so forth, and behave exceptionally well. Really good fun to drive. Scenario didn't go to plan. Yeah, that was because we stopped at a station. We didn't stop at a station. I'm probably not going to get my points, am I? No. Okay.